Hey everyone, Dennis K here with Belize Islands Real Estate. Hope you're all doing well today. Hey, listen, I got an email from a client asking the question, Dennis, why do you think there's such an increase in interest in people buying and investing in Belize? Well, here are a few reasons. If you take a look at the usdebtclock.org and you compare the US national debt today at over $28 trillion, dollars, and you look at the trajectory that this number, how this has increased over the past 2, 5, or 10 years, and then you look at the debt per citizen and the debt per taxpayer, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that something has got to change. For example, if we just go back to 2016, just 5 years ago, it was at $19.5 trillion. If we go back just a little bit more, let's say to 2012, we're looking at 15 trillion dollars. And we're only talking about 9 years ago, guys. So 15.1 trillion to over 28 trillion dollars today. Now, if we go back to today and we look at what is exactly happening, we see that the debt per taxpayer is going through the roof, right? And at some point, right now, nobody likes to talk about this, but right now, taxes in the US are fairly reasonable. Like everybody likes to talk about other countries and the services and the lifestyle that they offer, everything that is included to their citizens. They talk a lot about France, they talk a lot about maybe Sweden and Norway and some of these other countries, but do they realize just how much the taxes are in those countries in order to provide their citizens with some of those services and amenities that maybe the government doesn't provide the US citizens, but also the taxes aren't there? So basically, what we're going to see happening at some point is taxes just have to rise at some point in the future. When we look at what taxes have historically done from 1945 till now, we see that they're actually pretty reasonable. And comes from someone who pays taxes in 3 countries. So I understand the desire to pay as little tax as legally possible. So one of the ways you can do this is if you are a US citizen and you become an expat. So you actually have your residency outside the United States, then there are several different legal ways to reduce the tax burden, either that you would owe the state you're from, that you've moved out of, or perhaps even the US government, your federal taxes, all sorts of things that you can legally do once you become an expat. So what I would recommend is that you talk to your financial advisor and that you set up a meeting with a good international tax attorney or accountant and ask them, what would be my situation if I were to move, let's say out of Michigan or out of Florida to Belize? Here's my situation. I'm working online. I have an online job. I'm making this much money. Right now, I'm paying this much tax in the US. But if I were to do that same job sitting in Belize, now what are my tax obligations? Or let's say I'm running a business. Right now, I'm sitting in California or Texas. If I move to Belize, now what are my tax obligations running the exact same business, but doing so sitting in Belize? Now, there might be a couple different things that you need to do. For example, in order to have this work out to the maximum benefit, it might be that you need to relocate from the state you're in now to another state, establish residency in that state for 6 months or a year, 18 months, and then move to Belize in order to get the maximum amount of tax benefits. So why is that? Well, because there's a lot of different moving parts when it comes to taxes. You have city taxes, you have state taxes, federal, business, Social Security, all those different kinds of things. But one thing is for sure, for most people, when they physically start to live outside the United States, they pay a lot less in US taxes. And that is one of the main draws that we're seeing why people want to relocate to Belize, not just because of the palm trees and the blue waters and the relaxed lifestyle and all that kind of stuff, but it's actually because they can improve their lifestyle by having a lower cost of living, same amount of money coming in, but they're paying lower taxes, they're paying lower, just lower cost of living overall in most parts of Belize, right? And one look at this US national debt clock sends a lot of people into a panic, if not some serious concern over what may happen in the future. So basically, they're setting up a plan B for themselves. Like, we don't know what all these numbers are going to mean for US citizens a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years, or 20 years from now. We just don't know what all of them mean. But when we look at them, it certainly doesn't look very promising. And so many people are saying, you know what? Along with my investments in the United States, along with my home and my investments in the stock market and maybe other investments like Bitcoin, let me see if there's a place where I can park some money outside of the realm of all of this, outside of the United States. Could that be in Belize? Could that be in some form of real estate in Belize? Vacant land, homes, condos, Airbnbs, real estate syndications, any number of ways to invest. Would it make sense to get a portion of your money out now into a foreign investment, or would it make sense to move you and your family to Belize now for the lifestyle, but also for the tax benefits you receive by now living as an expat? So just a little something to think about today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to run anything by me that you've been thinking about, I'm not a tax professional by any means. I don't give financial advice, but I have worked with several tax attorneys and accountants that I can refer you to that are knowledgeable about these kind of things. So look, guys, this is just one piece of the puzzle that are that is going into the decisions that people are making regarding moving to, buying, and investing in Belize. So hope this is helpful. Hope this gave you 28 trillion reasons to think about investing in Belize. And again, if you want to hit me up on a Zoom call, it's easy. Just buy me a coffee. Let's set up a call. We'll try to get all your questions answered, see what makes sense for you to do. And I hope to see you down in Belize real soon. All right. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.